Dwayne the RV Inspector here, and today we're going to be talking about 12-volt RV refrigerators. Are they worth it, or are they just overhyped? Well, we're seeing a lot more 12-volt fridges in new RVs right now. In fact, I saw a lot of them in new travel trailers when I was at the big Hershey RV show in the fall this year. The question is it a good trend? What are the pros and what are the cons? Well, first of all, the normal RV refrigerator is usually operating on what's called gas absorption principles. And that means it needs two things. It needs a heat source and it needs a chemical process to pull hot air out of the refrigerator. There's no moving parts. And many of them run on either electric or propane. And that's great for boondockers, because if you're not plugged in somewhere, well, as long as you've got propane, you can continue to have a cool fridge. But a 12-volt fridge usually only runs on electric. So what's the big advantage here? There's several of them. Number one, the 12-volt fridge cools much better usually than the gas absorption fridge, because gas absorption fridges take a long time to get to cool from startup. In fact, sometimes it can take up to a day. But on the other hand, too, when you get into summer weather and it's hot outside, they can be very easily affected by that really hot weather. And it can be a struggle to keep things cool in the refrigerator. Not so with a 12-volt refrigerator. They keep things consistently cool because they're using a compressor instead. What that means is if you've got ice cream in the freezer, it's going to stay hard, and that's great. Number two on the list, a gas absorption refrigerator needs good ventilation behind it. Remember, it's taking hot air out of the refrigerator. That's got to go somewhere. So as a result, you need good ventilation behind a gas absorption fridge. None of that, though, is needed for a 12-volt fridge. Number three, there's more cooling area inside the refrigerator. If you look inside a gas absorption refrigerator, you're going to see an array of fins along the back wall. But when you have a 12-volt fridge, none of that is needed. So you have more area for the things you want to put in the fridge. Number four on the list, most 12-volt refrigerators are frost-free. And boy, is that great for folks that use their RV for a while. You know, if you're a part-timer or a full-time RVer, after a while, the fridge just builds up frost inside. The only way to remove it in a gas absorption fridge is just to manually defrost it. None of that is usually needed in a 12-volt fridge. That's great. Number five on our list is a safety feature. There's no flame operating with a 12-volt fridge. This makes them much less likely to cause an RV fire, because many fires in the past in RVs have started as a result of burning propane in an RV fridge. So that's great. Number six on our list, no need to be level anymore with your refrigerator. Gas absorption refrigerators can be harmed if they're off level. And every time you run them off level, well, you shorten the life of the refrigerator a little bit. That's not true with the 12-volt fridge. Again, it's a compressor type fridge, similar to your residential refrigerator. So you don't have to keep it perfectly level. Those are all great advantages or pros for the 12-volt fridge. What are the cons? There's one big con, and that is they require a lot of electric power to run. In fact, when they're running, sometimes they can pull between 10 and 20 amps of power. So if you have a single flooded lead acid battery, it can kill that battery really fast. Now, you'll never notice all of this when you're hooked up at the campground or the RV park. But if you're a boondocker, you've got to be conscious of this. You're going to need plenty of battery power to keep that fridge running. And if you're going to use solar, you're going to need enough solar on the roof to feed that power to the batteries. Generally speaking, lithium batteries are definitely going to be the best choice here, especially since you can use pretty much all the power in those batteries. Now, what I'm seeing, though, coming out of the factory is most of these new RVs with 12-volt fridges are only coming with one flooded lead-acid battery and one solar panel. So, if you're a boondocker, you might want to consider having to expand that system. Now, there's another way to go, though, that can be a little cheaper way to handle your power needs while you're boondocking. And that is that you could use an inverter generator to power up the batteries by running it a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours at night. And then you don't need this big upgrade for your power system. But that's just something for you to consider. Usually, a 12-volt fridge is really going to work well for RVers that stay in RV parks most of the time. But for frequent boondockers, you need to address these power issues that come along with a 12-volt fridge, or just stay with a gas absorption refrigerator that uses propane, and you can save money by doing that. Well, as with all things in the RV world, a 12-volt fridge can be a great choice depending on your needs and how you intend to use it. And that's it for now. Have safe and happy travels, my friends. Until next time.